YouTube, JamieTheKid00 here, coming at you guys with an X-Saber deck profile. I haven't brought you one of these in a while, and someone in my comment feed asked me to profile this. And I'm currently profiling this on Sunday, the 24th of February, but you're probably not going to see this for 23rd of February, so you're probably not going to see this for quite a while, but I'm saying this is when I recorded it. And I actually saw an article on the YCS Berlin coverage of Bjorn Schultz's X-Sabers, and I thought, hey, that's kind of inspired me to throw a build together again, and I stole a couple of ideas from him. They've been testing kind of well, but I wanted to make sure that this deck was still have my own flair to it. Most people who know me know that I build X-Sabers purely as a fun deck. I never build it competitively, so I do put in a couple of YOLO cards, and you'll see that in this list. And I'll try and explain how I would change it if I wanted to play this competitively. But I must stress, before anyone comments flaming this build for any inconsistencies it may have, it's more built to have more fun plays rather than be purely consistent and have... It's not 100% reliable, but when it goes off out the fucking wazoo. It's beautiful. So we're going to get into the profile. I only have a main and extra. I do not build side decks for most of my deck profiles, unless I actually plan on playing the deck in a tournament. This one I don't plan on playing. This one was more something that I wanted to build to show you guys. But we're going to get into the list. I'm playing double X-Saber partial. The only reason you should ever play double X-Saber partial in an X-Saber build is if you're playing Reinforced Truth, and I love Reinforced Truth. I would actually recommend playing Reinforced Truth even in the competitive build because it gives you an emergency teleport-like card, so that should be explanation enough. Double X-Saber Full Helm Knight. I like double X-Saber Full Helm Knight, but I don't like it that much this format. And also I had to kind of make room in the build. 3 of this has just been clogging really, really badly when I have been testing it. So having two has been reliable. If you play 1 partial, I would go up to 3 of this because of tuners. But also, as this is like Bjorn Schultz's build, so it does play the emergency teleport engine, you have extra tuners, so you don't need to emphasize so much on the triple Full Helm Knight. Something I'm beginning to question, but I still like playing 3 of because 3 secret ones are pretty, is 3 copies of double X-Saber Emma's Blade. Emma's Blade is your standard battle destruction guy, Mystic Tomato. When he dies by battle, he's going to search you out any other X-Saber from your deck, which is level 4 or lower. The one downside to playing this is now that things like Atlantean Marksman and Brotherhood of the Firefist Bear are doing the rounds quite frequently, this card really loses out. So if you wanted to play this deck competitively, cut 1. I just really, really like this card on a personal level, so I like playing 3 of it. But it does clog occasionally, so 3 of these. The way around that constant popping failing is sometimes to use this in a more aggressive capacity. There have been situations where I've gone into a battle phase. My opponent has a very high attack monster but low defense monster. I've swung this into it. This has died, gotten myself a Full Helm Knight. I've then attacked it with that Full Helm Knight and econned the guy into defense, killed with the Full Helm Knight, got this back and made a level 6. So you can make some fun plays with that. I then played triple Dark Soul. You have to play Dark Soul. Dark Soul is really, really good. I love synchroing off with this guy. I like emergency teleporting and then synchroing off with this guy to make your special summons. I should say I have tested this build a little bit on Dueling Network. That's why I'm saying I've got this experience. I love synchroing off with this guy. The free searches that this gives you is just so good. This is almost always what I search off of Emma's Blade, especially if they've run out of things to attack with. Just summon this, summon a tuner next turn, and then sync. So it's pretty nice. I'm playing double X-Saber Boggart Knight. Boggart Knight is getting to be a bit more of a subpar card, but you've got to also remember he's still a 1900 body, and he's really nice in tandem with your Fall Troll plays, and that's one of the main reasons I still play him. Even if I only have something bad like Boggart Knight Dark Soul in hand, I'll go Boggart Knight Dark Soul so I can summon the Fall Troll and then special summon a tuner back, and I can make plays from there. Speaking of Fall Troll, I do play 2. The reason why I play 2 over 3 is because you can search it with Dark Soul, and you only want it when you have your push. If you don't have your push with, say, the Boggart Knight, or just with Field Presence, this card is useless, and it will stay dead in hand for so damn long. So playing 2 Fall Troll, I feel, is the best. I feel that's the best number. Then we're going to move on to the non-X-Saber monsters in the forms of the Psychic engine, because we play an E-Tele engine in this, which has actually been really, really effective recently. So we play 1 Serene Psychic Witch. This is more of a, if you're gonna attack me, I'm gonna summon this in defense. If you need to keep attacking through to try and go for damage, you're gonna have to allow me to have my special summon. If you don't want to attack this, yes, it'll be banished, but it's a good battle deterrent when you E-telly it. Otherwise, when you draw it, it isn't that bad because you can just set it and get a tuner set up for your next turn plays. Then we play 3 tuners for the E-tellies. We play 1 Esper Girl as our 2 and 2 copies of Psychic Commander. It's important that these are Earths. Esper Girl, I would recommend Krebens in any other deck instead of Esper Girl, but because Esper Girl is Earth, it opens up your Beast Archeon plays, and it also opens up Redox targets and Grand Soil targets, because this is Grand Soil Sabers. I like playing Grand Soil and Sabers. So then, to round off and move on to the things that I guess are main deck boss monsters, I play 1 Redox. Redox is more in here for the Reborn, but you can bring him back alongside a level 3 to go Leo. Bring him back alongside, just level 3s. There's no other plays you can make with this. I don't play any level 1 tuners. So I was going to say make 8s, but I don't play any level 1 tuners. But bringing this guy back with one of these makes you Leo. It's pretty nice. And then finally, to round off the monster lineup, I play 1, 2, 3 copies of Grand Soil, the Elemental Lord. I'm glad to be able to play this card again. Grand Soil is a massive laugh, and in this he's like a big Boggart Knight because of his resurrection effect. This guy is only in here because I find him so fun. I absolutely love playing Grand Soil because he's so fun when you have your push plays. And this deck has incredible graveyard manipulation, with the E-tellies to get you cards to go to the graveyard, and with the Redox and the Gotham calls to remove cards from the graveyard. You have really nice manipulation, and this card really isn't that dead, but a lot of people will scream in the comments like they did the last time I made this video saying, oh, it's going to be really dead. It's surprisingly not. It's surprisingly consistent. And I really like playing Grand Soil because it really makes your OTK pushes come alive. So I love that guy to bits. That's the complete monster lineup. I wouldn't change a thing currently. Maybe I'd cut an Emma's Blade. Maybe. This is 41 cards, so I mean, if you want to make this a competitive count, make it 40 and cut an Emma's Blade. So that is the monster lineup. If you want to make this competitive, cut the Grand Soils, because you will complain about them when you draw them dead. Because you have to focus on keeping the grave count around 5, which is pretty easy to do. But if you want to play the deck with more flexible game states, cut the Grand Soils and play better cards like other spells and other traps. The spell lineup is surprisingly small, but it's really good cards in my opinion. So we have a couple of one-offs in the form of Book of Moon. I'm not playing Darkhold because Field Presence is everything in this deck, so Darkhold is kind of redundant. Darkhold is just bad in this. 1 Book of Moon because it's really versatile, and then in the same vein, I play 1 enemy controller. I'd probably play 2 Book if Book was a 2. Enemy controller is in here as a pseudo Book. Not in the fact that it changes stuff to defense, in the fact that it's incredibly versatile and it works in a massive number of game states. This is really good in tandem with your Fulhelm Knights. So is this, and it's just a really useful card. I really like this. Like, I can't describe the amount of game states because it really is subjective depending on what your game state is. But there are so many situations which this will get you out of, or it will change the game for you. And it's also really good in those battle phases when silly players drop Gauze is in attack, which happens so often on Dueling Network. This is so good on Dueling Network. So they go Gauze in attack, and I'm like, yay. Econ, swing with it for game. Thank you. So that's that. I then play double MST. 3 is too many in this deck, especially because you have Hyunlei. Hyunlei is going to be taking out that back row. So 2 MST is all you need to shift the more permanent stuff and the stuff that's keeping you down. And then finally 3 copies of Emergency Teleport. I never thought of this before until I saw Bjorn Schultz's deck. This adds so much speed to the deck. Normally you have to wait a turn to do a lot of things unless you have Reinforced Truth. This makes it so damn fast. I absolutely love this. And I'd recommend playing the Psychic Engine to almost anyone who wants to play X-Sabers at the moment. So these were that was a really cool thing. But this is the spell lineup. It's just simple, effective cards that when you draw them, they're almost always live. Like, I didn't want any of my spells to be dead any time. And I guess the only thing that can possibly be dead sometimes is the MSTs and the enemy controller. But otherwise, everything else is pretty damn solid. So those are the spells. And then the trap lineup is fairly standard. There's the 1 Reinforced Truth. Reinforced Truth is just solid in my opinion. It's great for A, saving you in some battle phases because you can just go flip this, get Pashul, and you're safe for that battle phase unless they've got a Piercer or something that negates effects. So this is really good in battle. And then once you've got that Pashul out, next turn you can go summon a monster, like summon a Dark Soul, make a 5, or summon Dark Soul, summon Boggart Knight and go off. The possibilities are endless, and this opens up so many situations to you. I'm then playing double Gotham's Emergency Call. I love playing 3 of this, but 3 has started to clog recently, especially with this build, where you've had to cut down a little bit on the number of X-Sabers in your build. So I really like Gotham's E-Call at 2 at the moment, and it's really, really strong. A double Call of the Haunted when you have an X-Saber on the field is nothing to snort at. It's so strong, and it's something you really often use when you're making your OTK pushes. I then play double Trap Stun. Trap Stun and Cold Wave have always been really, really strong with high unlay. So, of course, Cold Wave is gone, so Trap Stun does fill in that gap. But Trap Stunning your opponent, then popping 3 of their back rows, especially in such a back row heavy format, makes high unlay an incredibly strong card. And otherwise, it's versatile in all of your big push situations, because a lot of your plays in this are -1s, are -2s, and will require a lot of commitment to the table. So having the Trap Stuns just means that your commitment is a safe investment. And then we move on to the more generic traps in the forms of double Phoenix Chain, double Mirror Force, 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, and 1 Solemn Warning. And that is our complete trap lineup. We're going to move on to the extra deck. The extra deck is a major work in progress. There are probably a few things that you could change. So this extra deck is massively down to player preference, so I'd like to stress that before I remotely go into this. So to start things off, I play 1 Armades. I feel that Armades is the best generic at the moment. You could debate that Catastor is good, so you can play Catastor in this card's place, but I feel that Armades is the best at the moment, so I'm playing an Armades. I'm then playing 1 Nat Beast. Naturia Beast is really, really good. The ability to shut down spells this format wrecks the fire matchup if you make this first turn. It's not very good against Mermail, but it's really good against the fire matchup. And that's about the only thing you really want to make it for. And the Prophecy matchup, obviously. Those are the only 2 5s I play. For the 6s, the 1 high unlay, you'll only ever make this once, in my opinion. So the 1 high unlay is in there. And then the 1 Barkion. Barkion is so strong again in the fire matchup. In the new Mermail matchup, this card comes into its own. And especially in the Gear matchup, this is really, really good. So Barkion is just an all-round great card, and it's so easy to make with this deck. So why the hell not? For the 7s, I play 1 X-Saber Sauza and 1 Black Rose Dragon. I'm dancing between Sauza and Urbellum at the moment, because hand counts are getting really huge, and Urbellum can be really strong at locking your opponent, like Riser, by putting stuff repeatedly back on the top of the deck. But I'm not sure how I feel about that, because they can set their way out of that lock. So Sauza is in here for now, and I've been having a lot of fun with Sauza. He's really strong. And since he got reprinted in the tin, I can actually play him over here, which is good. Black Rose Dragon, obvious reasons. You know why he's in it. And then for the 8s, I play 1 Scrap Dragon and 1 Stardust Dragon. The obvious pairing, in my opinion. Crimson Blader is strong, but not that great at the moment. I'd rather have these 2, so they're in there. This Trishula is a proxy for a Gotham's. I don't seem to have a Gotham's at the moment for some odd reason. I'm buying a Friends Collection soon, which has one in it, I'm pretty sure. So I don't have a Gotham's, but this is a Gotham's. You've got to play Gotham's in this deck. So that's double X-Saber, Gotham's. No idea where it's gone. And then I play 1 Leo. Anyone who comments wondering why the Trishula is in here, please listen to the audio. Please, for the love of Christ, listen to the audio. Leo is just too strong not to play. If your deck can make it, play it. So the Leo is in here. That's the Synchros. And then for the Exceeders, I play 2 3s, 1 Mech-Up Engineer, 1 Leviair, the Sea Dragon. Leviair is really versatile with your Red Ox banishes, and anything that happens to get banished if it doesn't get synchroed off with E-Telly, so this card is really good. And then Mech-Up Engineer protects your board. It's really nice to make if you've made a push and you get Scarecrowed. You can go, okay, I've got a level 3, teleport for another level 3, make Engineer, you can't kill my biggest monster. So that's that. And then I play 3 6s in the form of Photon Strike Bouncer, Gauntlet Launcher, and Ptolemy M7. Ptolemy M7 is really good for putting a card out of your push play back into your hand, or of course bouncing stuff which you can't destroy. And then, of course, we've got the Gauntlet Launcher for double destruction and the Photon Strike Bouncer for the obvious, I'm going to negate your shit plays. So yeah, guys, this has been Grand Soil Psychic Sabers. I hope you've enjoyed. I wanted to build something a bit different, and I didn't want to straight net deck Beyond because that's not fair. But I really liked the engine that he'd been working with. I really wanted to come up with something that used that, but I had my own flair to it, and I really feel that I've kind of captured that in this profile. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to ask me what I changed for competitive versions, you can ask me in the comments below, but it's really only cutting the Grand Soils for better spells and traps. There really isn't much else I'd change, and for some reason my laptop won't stop making loads of noise. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'm not sure when this will be up, but I hope it's not too late. But yeah, check out my Facebook, it's going to be linked in the description below. And I'll see you guys when I see you. This is Majami the Kid 00 with an X-Saber deck profile. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.